Hey, what's up guys, welcome to another video. Today we will talk about what I think is one of the most underrated pieces of accessory for your camera, which also happens to be super cheap, and that is a L bracket. And I'm also going to talk about why I bought this instead of other similar accessories available in the market like a camera cage. If you don't already know, a L bracket, as the name suggests, is a L-shaped piece of metal that fastens to the quarter-inch screw at the bottom of your camera and increases the functionality of a camera in several ways. The most obvious one, of course, is that it has several quarter-inch threads all over it, which allows you to mount anything that has a quarter-inch mount like microphones, lights, audio recorders, etc. So, if you have a camera like a Sony a6400 which has a hot shoe that blocks the screen when it's flipped forward, I would recommend buying this over a hot shoe relocation adapter. The only reason you would go for the adapter instead of this bracket is if your camera being light is important to you, for example if you do vlogging a lot. But if you are more of a videographer, then the extra weight this L bracket adds is probably a plus for you. Talking about weight, this particular bracket from my Sony a6400 weighs around 89 grams, which is not heavy enough to make your setup bulky but enough to add some extra stability. Now, let's talk about why I recommend this over a camera cage. Well, firstly, the price. I bought this L bracket on AliExpress for about 1200 Indian rupees or about 16 US dollars, which is dirt cheap. On the other hand, a camera cage can cost you up to 8000 rupees depending on what sort of bells and whistles you want with it. And for a Sony a6400, it's almost never in stock for some reason. So there's a significant amount of savings, and when I really thought about it, a L bracket is actually a better option for me than a cage. I still get the functionality and riggability, if that's a word, of a cage, and I love the fact that there isn't a piece of metal on the grip side of the camera, which would make it uncomfortable for me personally, and the wooden grip can get very expensive. The only downside would be that you cannot attach a top handle with the L bracket like you can do with the cage. But a top handle isn't that intuitive for me personally anyways, especially since the a6400 doesn't have a side flippy screen and the top handle can block the screen. So coming back to the L bracket, one of the biggest things that made me buy it is that it has an arc assist plate built in. This allows you to put the camera on a tripod without having to attach any base plate. Before this, I had to use the base plate that came with the tripod, and when it's on the camera, it makes it very difficult to adjust the screen. And what's even worse is the fact that if you forget to carry the base plate, you now have no way to mount it on the tripod anymore. I would honestly recommend this L bracket just for this purpose alone. And if this wasn't good enough for you, it actually has an arc assist plate on both the bottom and on the side, so you can also directly mount it horizontally. And actually, if you have a handle with a NATO clamp, you can actually fasten it to the arc assist groove and use it as a side handle. This setup helps me get more stable shots when handled and is a great feature if your camera doesn't have IBIS. Another cool feature that this particular L bracket has is that it has a spot to magnetically attach and store an Allen key. So if you ever have to loosen or tighten an arm on a tripod for example, you will always have an Allen key with you. So that's basically it guys. This is such a phenomenal accessory for your camera and does the job of like 3 different things and all that for a small price. It does have some shortcomings, but all in all I would totally recommend it. If you found this useful, like the video, maybe drop a comment, and if you think someone else needs to get this L bracket, then share this video with them. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more budget accessories that I use with my camera. I try to make videos on topics not many are talking about, so if you'd like to stay tuned for more videos like this, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. See you later in the next video.